Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you this furnace array I've been working on this week. So the goal was to make a large-scale furnace array that is as simple as possible. I'm using a lot of the 1.19 features like chest boats in order to achieve this goal. So in total we have 320 furnaces that are capable of smelting 115,200 items. Let's take a brief look at the redstone before we do a quick test run. So of course for a furnace array we need a lot of hoppers, furnaces, and we're using rails to distribute the items, but there's no actual redstone involved here, so we just have the rails and the minecarts do the rest. So we just need to control those minecarts, load them and unload them. So we got a shulker box unloader here at the top. I've shown the system 2 days ago. Then we got a hopper minecart dispenser that would launch the minecart every 10 seconds. So we got a 10-second hopper clock to control that. Then we got a second dispenser for hopper minecarts that would pick up the items out of the furnace that are smelted. And then here at the back we got an unloader. That's based on 1.19 technology for the items that are smelted. And the last thing we need is fuel. So we got a little system here with a chest boat that would get loaded here by 12 hoppers. And every time a new shulker box is dispensed, will be launched and distribute coal over the furnace array. So that's it. As you can see, there's not a lot of redstone required. Okay, so let's try it out. It's definitely no early game furnace array. The purpose is really to smelt a ton of items. So that's why it's used in combination with shulker boxes. So we went, for example, to a desert, brought home 20 shulker boxes of sand, and want to smelt it real quick. Okay, so then you just put it in here. Then you click the note block to activate it. Alright, so the shulker box is dispensed, burned in the lava, and then the items would fall on the pressure plate. This would activate the 10-second clock, so as long as we have items on here, the 10-second clock would send a minecart. And if we fall below a certain threshold here with the signal strength, also a new shulker box would be dispensed. Alright, so you don't need to worry about dispensing the shulker box individually, the system does that for you. Right, so every 10 seconds, a hopper minecart is launched, picks up 5 stacks of items. So we got 320 items in there, completely filled, which is also the reason why we have 320 furnaces. Then if this minecart goes over this rail here, would send over hopper minecart. Below the furnaces, they would pick up the glass in this case. Right, since also we sent the first hopper minecart, distributes the items every 10 seconds exactly. We only have a single item here in the top slot. So this makes sure that we don't have like too many items in there if you would launch the minecarts too frequently or too little, which would be wasteful in terms of fuel. Alright, so once the top of minecarts would be completely filled as well with 5 stacks of items. Check it out here real quick. What we put into this system here. So this 1.19 technology. We can use the fact now that if you break a hopper minecart, it wouldn't be split up in a minecart and a furnace anymore. It would drop as a hopper minecart. So this is a system that was shown to me by Methods. He worked on those minecart unloaders for 1.19 quite a bit. But this was actually not developed by Methods, it was made by somebody else. It was shown to him. Alright, so the trick here is that we align the minecart against those chains here. It drops down, snaps to the waterlogged rail here, and basically is partially inside of the lava cauldron. So it takes 1 tick for the minecart to burn. That's why it also doesn't really matter that it's inside of water. And then the items are ejected out of the minecart at a different place where the minecart item would actually drop. So we just have a hopper below the cauldron here. So this would actually just pick up the single hopper minecart item. There we go. And all the smelted items would go into the water stream here. This is quite convenient, so we don't need to somehow filter out the hopper minecart, which would also be possible now with an alley, for example, but this way you can get around this. It's, by the way, no problem to use the furnace array with different items. As long as you have full stacks in the shulker boxes, then even all of the 320 furnaces will be used. In case you have partial stacks, then of course, since the minecart won't be filled up entirely, it could happen that some of the last furnaces won't be used. Alright, then one thing that is actually left is the fuel supply, which we haven't talked about yet. So we're using a chest boat here, which is quite convenient because it's kind of hard to look inside, even spectator mode. There we go. quite convenient because we can actually drive it over 2 hoppers left and right at the same time. So this goes a bit quicker by using the chest boat in the minecart. Then, it takes about 40 seconds for the chest boat to supply all the furnaces with 1 piece of coal. And then it would be put into the holding system here again. If you get 12 hoppers, they would fill it up quickly. You can see here, it doesn't take long to refill those 320 items. And it's getting launched again, so this is actually perfect timing, when a new shulker box is getting dispensed. So up to 6 items are smelted per, shulker box we break per furnace. So that means it's definitely enough if every time a new shulker box is dispensed, if we put in 1 more charcoal. So as long as we supply enough charcoal, we don't need to worry about the furnaces not receiving it. There's also other options, of course, when it comes to fuel. People have different preferences. You could also technically use it with dried kelp or blaze rods. So you also have those options. But if you would prefer, for example, bamboo, the problem would be that you need a very large amount, roughly 500,000 bamboo per hour, which is quite actually a problem to get without completely lagging the game. So that's why I prefer the charcoal here. The reason for charcoal is you can technically make a fully automatic log farm, which you can also automatically turn into charcoal. So either you make a charcoal storage here on the side, or you actually turn on an automatic charcoal farm when the furnace array is running. So you even have this option. And of course, some people would prefer blaze rod, so you can also just put that in here as well. Or even kelp blocks. Downside of kelp blocks is just that you have to craft them. Some people also like carpet dupers or lava buckets for fuel, but this particular system wouldn't have an issue with this, especially with the carpets, because we need over 300,000 of those per hour, and just 1 single chest minecart would be overwhelmed by this. So that's why you would need to adjust the system, work with carpet dupers. Also, a lot of people, me included, don't like really use carpet dupers. It's more fun to make some charcoal, in my opinion. And for lava buckets, it would actually also work. There's just one problem, of course. A chest minecart can only hold 27 lava buckets at the same time. So, of course, we couldn't really build 320 of those furnaces with it. But 1 lava bucket actually lasts 100 operations. So if all the hoppers here in the back are filled with lava buckets and the furnaces itself, then just launching this chest boat multiple times would actually also reach all the furnaces. So technically, you could also run it with lava buckets. But you technically also need to launch another hopper minecart to empty the furnaces. Alright, so as I said, I left this open here. So you could either have a charcoal storage directly with multiple chests like this that all would feed into this chest here. You could have a shulker unloader to feed this chest, or as I said, you could turn on your automatic charcoal farm in case you fall below a certain threshold, this chest here. So we got 2 hoppers that would actually feed this chest boat. And this is standing on top of 6 hoppers. That would refill this really quickly. It takes about 11 seconds to replenish the items. Alright, so that's the whole furnace array. As I said, the goal was really to make it as simple as possible. And that's why also this particular shulker box unloader was used, where the shulker boxes are getting burned and lost. Now, when I made this video 2 days ago, I almost expected that some people would take issue with it in the comments because they would like a system where the shulker box is kept, which is technically also possible. It just gets more complicated. But I would also argue it's actually more work to keep the empty shulker box, because you would need to bring those shulker boxes back wherever you need them. So in case you, when mining a desert, brought over some sand, you would need to transport them back, maybe do multiple runs, or wherever else you produce items. And it's usually a lot less work to just deposit some shulker shells, which you get from your shulker farm, and some logs from your automatic tree farm at the place where you need shulker boxes, instead of taking the empty boxes and bringing them back. So I guess a lot of people that would play in a way where an industrial scale furnace array and farms make sense, that they would agree with this approach. Alright, so that's all for today. Just a simple furnace array, not flashy at all. You can also find a world download in the video description. One of the next projects I actually want to work on would be this fully automatic charcoal farm using azalea trees. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks guys for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.